It's time for an update, and I'm really excited to share this. I'm really excited to share this kind of ongoing conversation that emerged with one of the readers throughout this school year. So back in January, I answered a question in a column called Never Ending Cycle. And I'm just going to read you the question here real quickly. She wrote, "Dear Sarah, how do you deal with the constant cycle of planning, teaching, and grading? It feels like a never-ending process, and I'm having a hard time giving it my all consistently." So when I responded with a few things. I suggested that she couldn't be perfect all at once, and nor should she want to be or have to be. That thankfully we can't give it our all consistently in every single facet of this work. I urged her and others like her to resist kind of creating mini factories, because that cycle can get so kind of overwhelming, even oppressive. And when we get to that place, a lot of times we want to make it go away. And so we make things really, really systematic. So this teacher and I kind of kept in contact, and recently she wrote me a new letter. And I wanted to share a portion of that with you, just to kind of let you know how she's doing. She wrote, "Hi Sarah, it is with great difficulty that I write this email to you. I wanted to follow up and let you know that I will not be teaching next year. It's one of the most difficult decisions I have had to make to date, but in the end, I think it's what's best. After a challenging and thorough reflection, I realized that the educators I admire most that have perfected their teaching, that have taken on leadership responsibilities and impacted systems beyond their classrooms, are educators that stayed within one school for a solid amount of years. They were able to grow with their community, see their students learn, struggle, succeed, leave, and return with stories." As a side note, her husband has been relocating on a little bit of a regular basis. "I was only able to make the decision knowing it isn't permanent. This is not an end to my career as an educator, but a pause. As difficult as writing this email is, I wanted to let you know about this decision in large part because our conversations this last year sustained me. Thank you again for creating a digital teacher community that gave me the strength I needed to do the good work." Before I go any further, I just would definitely like to say that it's not just me, it's you. It's all of you out there who create this space in this community for teachers like Never Ending Cycle, who continue to struggle with the questions we all do. So I have to say, in response to her letter, on one hand, my heart it's breaking a little bit. I worry that this conscientious, brilliant teacher will not find her way back to a classroom. I worry that she's going to be one of those statistics about young teachers, who leave the profession and don't come back, and we as a system somehow have to own that. But on the other hand, I see bravery. I see bravery in what she's doing, because there's a wisdom beyond her years. When she writes, "I realize the educators I admire most were able to grow with their community, see their student learn, struggle, succeed, leave, and return with stories." We see all of that wisdom, and that comes from somewhere. That comes from the communities that she's been engaging in, and I think that that's something we have to find ways to capitalize on. It's so hard to make these changes. It's just hard to change, to be in motion, to move instead of being moved, and I think that's what she's doing. She is empowering herself with this choice, and so sometimes these tough choices are important, because I think what she can do actually by making this choice, what I hope she can do by making this choice, is like crystallize this passion, this sense of purpose that she still has, and she can recapture it when it's time to come back to the classroom, rather than pursuing it and somehow driving it away. So I am, really hopeful for Never Ending Cycle and for what her journey entails.